There's something I've been thinking about how to, what is business? And not in a sort of, um, uh, not in a, I think a better question that I've been really, a better way to word it is what exactly is the goal? Mm, the, what exactly is the point of business, right? And I guess that's connected to the bigger question of what is money. Kind of on like a big picture. First going big picture and then going to like the everyday matters. I think business really is a way of interact or I don't really have a definition for business, but the way I feel about business is a way to um, be be a part of society. Business is kind of a way of being a part of society. Business or work, right? Work is like the bigger work or job. Um, the weird part though is so for example, right? Businesses these days don't really do anything. And when I say don't do anything, let me be more specific, right? Businesses don't really make stuff anymore. Some businesses do, most don't, right? Most businesses don't make stuff. Most businesses don't really have a service, right? It's not really a goods or service, right? That's not really the nature of work has changed dramatically, right? It's not really businesses don't sell goods or services or a brand really, right? There are some businesses that do, of course, right? Right, but what is a business really, right? That's kind of what I want to get down to. So, for example, right, we say McDonald's is a fast food business. Well, it's not really. It used to be. It used to be a fast food business. Not anymore, right? It's actually It's actually more of a real estate business, right? Because your McDonald's gives out licenses to build your own franchise, right? Which is like you're basically renting out your name, right? So other people can use it, right? So McDonald's isn't a fast food business anymore, right? It's more of a real estate business, right? Same with for example, like Apple, right? Apple isn't a tech company, right? Yes, Apple is more of a brand, right? Apple is more of a brand, right? Apple doesn't build almost any of their components, right? All of it's outsourced, right? All the I don't know about the whole supply chain, right? I'm not an expert. I don't have insider information, but most of Apple's components, right? The microchips, the CPUs, the processors, the OLED screens, Apple doesn't make them, right? It's outsourced. So what does Apple actually make, right? Well, Apple is actually a marketing, right? A brand. It's not really a tech company, right? So what I really want to get down to is what is a business actually, right? Like for example, Facebook. What is Facebook selling, right? A service? It's not really a service, right? What Facebook doesn't sell something. Of course, there's Facebook ads, right? Um, But what is Facebook actually selling, right? It's networks, right? It's like the Facebook is the more people that use your website, your service, right? The more valuable it is, right? But um, so it would be kind of wrong to say that Facebook is um, like a service. It's not really a service, right? It is a service in the sense that people can use Facebook Messenger to communicate with each other. Yes, right? But that's not what they're selling, right? Facebook isn't selling that, right? What they're selling, right? You've got to sell something, right? Which means, what exactly are they selling, right? Which is like that. They're selling like a community, basically, right? You're selling like a community of people. That's kind of what's happening. So, right? The question becomes, what is business, right? What is business actually? What is business actually doing, right? And that kind of dives into the deeper question of what is money. We've kind of abstracted out all of um, the what goes on in business. Right? We've outsourced everything basically. So first, I want to talk about leverage. Right? Leverage is just if you for every input you get that much output, right? If you have 10 times leverage, for every input you get 10 times output, right? For if you have 100 times leverage, for every input you get 100 times output, right? And basically in business, not just business, but in general, there's one, two, three, four, five types of leverage. Basically, there's physical leverage, right? We're talking about Archimedes, right? Physical leverage, right? Mechanical advantage, right? So we have physical leverage, right? We have economic, so monetary leverage, right? Money is a type of leverage, right? The more money you have, the more leverage you have, right? You have time as a leverage, right? The more time you have, the more leverage you have, right? Although time isn't really a resource you can really transact with. You have technological, right? Which is similar to mechanical, right? It's just an abstract. Technology is an abstraction, right? It's the more complex version of mechanical leverage. And then you have social leverage, right? Which is like your community, right? The people you're connected to, right? Yeah, just like I think whoever said it, right? You're the average of the five people you spend the most time with, right? Your community, your environment is huge, right? You always, or you can never really win against your environment, right? Win, or it's like that proverb, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right? It's all about community, right? Connection, community, network, whatever word you want to use, right? So there's technological leverage, monetary leverage, time leverage, and social leverage. Right? But then why did I want to talk about leverage? It's because that is what allows you to do more with less, right? With less time, with less money, with less people, with less technology. So the whole thing about this, what is business doing, right? It's like because basically all businesses, every single business outsources. And what is outsourcing? Outsourcing is leverage, right? You're leveraging other resources, right? You're outsourcing, right? So it's a leverage, right? You can outsource to other people, right? So that's social leverage. You can outsource to other workers, right? Which is financial leverage, right? Or you can outsource to somebody who's technologically better than you, right? Which is technological leverage, right? So leverage and outsourcing, right? They're basically the same concept, right? It's like this whole. I'm trying to I basically want to boil all this, right? Cut. I want to cut all this business lingo, right? All this lingo, and I want to get to the root, right? I want to get to what business is actually about. And I think really, right, really what's happening in business is all about connection, right? It's all about connection, right? There's nothing else in business, right? Business is quite literally just connection, right? You don't make anything, you don't consume anything, you don't really even provide a service. You really just connect whatever is available, right? Business is all about connection, right? It's all about integration, right? You can call it integration, connection, community. For example, for example, let's say if you wanted to, for example, if you wanted to, I don't know, make the next Facebook, make the next Google, right? Make the next Tesla, whatever it is you want to make, right next to Amazon. You're not going to build any of it, right? You're gonna basically leverage what's already available, right? All the information, all the people, all the technology, right? Public technology that's available, right? And then from there, you would just connect people together, right? So a business is really all about connecting, right? For example, you can connect the buyer and the seller, right? If somebody wants to buy, like let's say, I don't know, yeah, someone wants to buy soda, right? And then there's somebody who's selling soda, right? All you have to do is connect them together, right? And then that's a business. If somebody wants to um, okay, if somebody wants to host a server, to hold to run a website, for example, right? And if somebody wants to buy a website hosting service, right, you just connect them together. So every single business is just connecting other things, right? It's really all about just connecting other things, right? It could be connecting the buyer and the seller. It could be connecting the supplier and the manufacturer. It could be connecting business to business or business to consumer. It could be, right? The name, the lingo doesn't matter, right? Whatever lingo you want to use, it doesn't really matter, right? Business is all about connection. Whoever connects the most has the best business, right? Which is why um, the best product isn't necessarily the one that becomes the most popular, right? We see this time and time again, right? You can think, like, for example, think of MySpace and Facebook, Google and Yahoo. You can think of um, Mac and Microsoft, or sorry, Windows, Mac and Windows. You can think of Android and iOS. You can think of um, VHS and I think it was the laser discs, right? There's so many examples, right? The best product isn't necessarily the one that wins, not at all, right? It's all about connection, right? So people use the words like marketing, right? Advertisement, funnels, right? None of that shit matters, right? Honestly, right? Because those are just lingo. What people are saying, what people are really saying, right? Marketing, advertisement, right? What people are really saying is connect, right? Connect with your audience, right? Connect with your friends, connect with your peers, right? Connect your product to people, right? That's what all these words really mean, right? For me personally, I really, really despise the word marketing. Really despise it. There's just about a lot of really bad connotations with marketing, right? It's kind of like, you're trying to sell something, right? You're forcing people to buy something that they don't want, right? Like, you know, like a stereotypical image would be like, you know, like a kind of like a drug dealer, right? You're trying to get kids hooked on drugs, right? And that way, okay, that's not really a good analogy. It's kind of like tobacco, right? You're trying to sell something that is quite literally killing people, right? And that's like, no, that's kind of like the stereotypical image of marketing, right? That kind of like, you know, forcing you to buy something kind of image. And but marketing in its purest sense, right? So, without any of the connotations, right? With, you know, is just connecting people, right? Really, I hate the word marketing so much, right? I hate it. There's just too much baggage associated with it. But it's just really connection, right? You're connecting with people, right? You're telling a story. That's right. To to put it simply, you're a human being and you're connecting with other human beings and you're telling a story. That's what it is, right? That's what it's all about, right? That's what business is. There's nothing else to it, right? So it's not really, you're not selling a good, you're not selling a service, you're not really selling anything, right? You're really just connecting people, and by connecting people, you you create you almost create like this what I like to an analogy I like to think of is uh, if you're for example, if you're running, right, or if you're walking, or if you're doing any sort of like exercise, right, doing it alone sucks. I'll be honest, it sucks. Sometimes I feel really great when I'm running, really, really great. Other times, it sucks. But when I'm together, right? When I'm running with a friend, right? When I'm running with my family, when I'm running with somebody else, right? My team, right? Yeah. It's weird, but I can run way further and I feel way less tired, way less tired if I run together with somebody, right? There's that an extra energy. I guess you can call it social energy, right? Like if you're together with somebody else, you can go far, right? Just like that, I believe it's an African proverb or from somewhere, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's exactly like that, right? Business is that, right? Cut out cut out all this, marketing, advertisement, right? Cut out all if you cut everything out, right? If you just boil it down simply, business is connection, right? Business equals connection. That's what it's all about. You just connect people with other people, right? Who are doing cool stuff, right? And from that connection, there's that extra energy, right? Social energy available, right? Just like when you're running by yourself, it's hard to run by yourself. But if you're running with somebody else, right, you feel energized, right? It's exactly the same. Or when you're not connected with people, it's really hard, right? But when you're connected with people, right, when you have a community, right, a supportive social network, right, when you have a business, right, which is all about connecting people, then it gets really, really easy, right? That's what business is. So to boil it all down, it's really just connection, right? Having a community, right? You can call whether you call it business, whether you call it religion, whether you call it community, it doesn't really matter. The name doesn't matter. It's just like, I got your back, right? You got my back, right? That kind of thing. Okay, so now that we've gone through kind of like the big picture, right? What is business actually, right? The big picture. I think business really then is just like the creative aspect, right? The creative aspect of connecting together, right? Different ways of connecting together, right? Maybe it's through creating a game, right? Maybe you create a game developing business, right? That's one way of connecting with people. Maybe you create renewable energy source or alternative energy source, right? That's another way of connecting with people, right? Maybe you create um, some sort of AI cloud computing platform, right? That's another way of connecting, right? It's all about it's business is creative ways of connecting with people. That's what it's really. That's really the essential of business. That's all you need to know. Okay, so for the practical, right? So what do I do, right? What can I actually do? Share your story, right? What is it that you really want to experience in your life, right? When do you feel truly alive and vibrant, right? When do you feel the most you, right? The most in tune with you. For me, for example, I feel really alive when I'm outside. I'm looking at a beautiful natural scenery, right? Trees blowing in the landscape, right? Very just grass and flowers blooming and swaying in the wind, right? I can feel the wind blowing across the breeze blowing across my face. It feels so refreshing. And then I see the beautiful sunset and sharing that special moment with somebody else, right? Somebody special to me, right? That is when I feel alive, right? When I feel the breeze of the ocean, and I'm in just chatting and joking around and uh, climbing rocks with my best friend, right? That's when I feel the most alive. That's when I feel the most alive. And then, so how can I turn that into a business, right? Do more of that, right? Find creative ways to connect. Maybe, right? For example, if you like rock climbing, right? Maybe you can become like a rock climbing teacher, right? Educator, right? Maybe you can become um, a rock climbing like professional, right? Like an expert. If you like, for example, riding bikes, I love riding bikes, right? You can become a bike developer, right? Create your own custom bikes, right? Or maybe you can become a bike mechanic, right? So there's tons, right? Tons of ways to uh, make this practical, right? To do what you love and make a living out of it, right? Because that's really the whole goal, right? That's really the whole point of this whole thing, right? It's to do what you love and to make a living by doing what you love. When you accomplish your dreams, you create space for other people to then accomplish their dreams. All the dreams in the world are possible. It's just having the connections, right? Having the um, a sort of courage, right? An emotional courage uh, to not just trust, right? Uh, to really know, right? It's really having that courage to be yourself, right? And when I say be yourself, to be really yourself. Don't listen to my voice, right? Don't listen to anybody else's voice. Listen to your voice, right? Which includes the voices of other people, right? Because we are all a community, right? We're all we're all brothers and sisters of the human race. But it's really I hope you can find your way of making the life of your dreams, of finding that creative spark to do what you love and make a living out of it, right? To creatively connect, to engage with people, right? To be in touch, to nurture, um, to be blessed by a supportive community, right? To be a blessing to others and be blessed. So I hope you can find that creative spark, right? That community, that the way of making a living through a business that you love doing.